Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Fletcher Nelson. I'm a 3rd grade teacher in Minnesota, and we just found out we're moving to hybrid starting on Monday. We have school off yesterday. Today's Friday, by the way. So we had school off yesterday and today. And we found out last Monday, so we did some planning throughout the week, but now my mind's just kind of racing of things I should do before we start actually on Monday. So I am gonna just get some stuff done today and take you along the process of what I'm gonna plan and how I'm gonna adjust things for having only half my class here and half of them gonna be tuning in online. I feel like I should also note the students aren't going to be joining live from home. I know some of you guys have to do that. That'd be super stressful, I think. I'm glad we're not doing it that way. Especially with elementary age kids, like we don't know where they'll be. Some will be at daycare, some will be with their grandparents, some just won't have access to their device when they would need to. We're going to have built-in times when they can hop on live, like for morning meeting and for like our read-alouds. So they can join and see their friends and still be connected as a whole class, but it's not required. They will have stuff from like the previous day. So it'll be weird on Monday, but like, so my kids who are in class on Monday, I'll teach new content. Tuesday, they'll go home and practice those skills independently. They'll bring it back Wednesday for me to check. We'll teach new stuff, send it home. It'll alternate that way. So that's how our hybrid is working. And I know hybrid model is different for everybody, but that's how ours will be. So what I want to try to accomplish today is kind of remake my schedule since I only have 9 kids. I want to remake some of my small groups. Students will have to be, socially distanced, but with only 9 kids, and I also have a student teacher, I think it'll be easy to pull groups of 3, have them distance away from each other on the floor and do some work that way. So that is my plan. But first I'm gonna eat my McDonald's here. So eat first, then we'll get started on some of this stuff. All right, got my breakfast done. First up, I want to make my new schedule and then split my kids into their new guided reading and math groups. So here we go, that's what I'm gonna do. I think I have my schedule how I want it. I'll show you what I'm thinking. It's not a whole lot different than what it had been, but I wanted to make more time for, taking advantage of there being less kids. The one thing that's kind of getting me is they'll still have our intervention block for like title, reading, and math groups. So that's throwing me off because I have a couple kids who leave every day during those, so it'll be nice I only have like 6 kids in my room, but I can't do anything whole group or like core lessons because they would miss that and they're gone for 45 minutes. So like that whole chunk needs to be small group, which is fine, but then I also want to meet with those other kids who are leaving. Like I want to meet with them still. So it's like then that takes away a whole group like content core lesson as well. So anyways, here's what I came up with. All right, so they will still grab their breakfast and eat that in our rooms. School doesn't start until 8:15, so we'll do our morning meeting, and that will be a Google Meet where kids can hop on if they want to. Again, they don't have to, but they can. Then right at that, at 8:45, we go to music and gym still. When we get back, we will do our first reading mini lesson. After that, I'll have them apply the skill we learned in their own books. We'll do read to self for about 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know, I'm just putting 10 on there for now because I need to make sure I have enough time for everything. After that, we'll do our IRA, which is an interactive read aloud, and then they'll go respond in their reading notebook to that read aloud. Following that, we're going to do our word study lesson, and they will do the word study activity at home the next day. We'll do our snack and bathroom break. We'll do an hour of reading groups, and I'll show you what I'm thinking for those. Get a movement break in, do our core math lesson, recess and lunch. When we come back in, I will read from like our chapter book just we're reading an I Survived book right now, and we'll do our number talk, and both of those will be an optional Google Meet for kids as well. We'll do writing, which isn't as long. So the writing, that's not as long as I'd like to spend on it, but at least we'll get in our lesson for the day, and they'll get a start on their own writing, and they will continue that the next day at home. They will bring their writing notebook home with them. After writing, we'll get a quick, like a Just Dance, and then we'll end the day with our math groups. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll go to the library at 2:20. So it's not perfect, but honestly, I'm struggling with trying to fit everything in, which seems weird because there's less kids, but it's, I don't know, especially when they're gonna have to like be doing, like the next day at home on their own, we'll be doing whatever we did for math and reading, word work. Yeah, the reading lesson they'll apply to their own book again the next day. And yeah, so here's what I'm thinking for small groups. All right, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I have 4 groups, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will only have 3 groups. It's just kind of, that's how it worked out with the number of kids who leave for, to go with other teachers for other services, and where they were at for as far as level-wise. I might change this to only 3 rounds and make them 20 minutes each, but my student teacher, I'm gonna have do guided reading. I'm gonna be doing some word work with high-frequency words, and then Epic, they'd be able to listen to books. Freckle would be, I'd probably assign some articles for them to practice just like comprehension and reading and answering questions. But like I said, I might switch these to only be 20 minutes and get rid of one of those 2 things. For math, there's only 3 groups, so myself and my student teacher will each take a group right away. One group will start on with either a math game or activity. I'll take a second group, and this way Ms. Kohler can keep working with her group if she wants, or kind of help out those guys with their game. But yeah, so that should work fine. And my coworker Addie just gave me a bunch of letters to use for word work during the reading rotations. So when they're with me, we'll work on some reading and writing and building high frequency words. So I'll have to split these up into smaller sets. That way, you know, people aren't cross-contaminating and all that stuff. But Addie, you the best for these, because I went to look for them, and magnetic letters are not cheap. So I'm excited for those. All right, for the small group, when I do word work on sight words, I made this just kind of 10 sight words at a time, and then this chart to go with them, whether they can read them. Oops, blurry, come on. Read, build, write, and then just practice those 10 for the week, which is really only 2 days since we'll be hybrid, but hopefully this can kind of continue after hybrid as well. So I just have a bunch of different sets that I can work on based on where they're at, and they'll use these to build them, and we'll write them, and hopefully that helps with some of our spelling errors on some of these high frequency words. So I'm going to get these cards printed off and hole punched and onto rings. That way I can have them ready to go for Monday. All right, this is what my back table's turned into, trying to get everything planned and prepared. I did very sloppy, very quick lesson plans, just kind of overviewing. I don't know if you care, but I'll walk through what I'm thinking. Our read alouds for this week, and honestly that'll be for next week too, because we won't be able to fit them all in this week since we're going hybrid. They're memory stories, so these would tie in good with narrative writing. We just finished our first narrative, so we'll be reading these 2 books this week. I'm gonna read My Rotten Red-Headed Older Brother by Patricia Polacco, and Saturday's and Tea Cakes by Lester Laminack. There's 5 total that we're supposed to read. I'm thinking we'll probably maybe do Family Pictures on Friday, and then the other 2, Grandma's Records and The Printer, next week. So anyways, this week we will focus on those 2 books. These are my sloppy plans. So 2 read alouds for the week. For our reading mini lessons, I feel like this would be a good time we have some writing about reading mini lessons, so writing a letter. So the first day they would write one on a book we've all read, and then the second part of the week would be using evidence in your thinking in your letter. So this one would be a book we've all read on Monday. Tomorrow I'll teach them that. Tuesday they'll write a letter at home. Wednesday we'll use evidence in a book we've all read. Thursday when they're home they would write it and use evidence from their book that they're reading independently. And then obviously the other group would be a day off. So I just feel like that's one that they can do at home. That would be good. They can apply it to their own book, and they don't need to be on technology for it. I don't want them to sit on their computer all day. So I think we're gonna do those 2 lessons this week. The first one, just introducing writing a letter to share your thinking about a book, and the next one is using evidence to go with your thinking. For word study, the first day we're gonna be talking about long vowel sounds. So this game Crazy Eights will be optional to play at home if they want to. I'll make some sort of a sort for them to do the following day when they're not here. But they are just matching the long vowel sounds. So this is the game Crazy Eights. I just think it'd be kind of fun if they have someone to play with, they could. So I'm gonna teach them how to play that on Monday. They can bring it home and play it throughout the week if they want, but there'll be an activity that they for sure have to do. This will probably have to be on Seesaw. And then on the next lesson, their second one, is matching the vowel sounds with different letter combinations, like almost, already, and then you have jaw, sauce, so they have the same sound but different letter combinations. So they'll have to sort those by the letter combinations and then underline or highlight the letters that are creating that vowel sound. So this one will be easier. This one will just be the sort. This one I'll create a sort and they can play the game if they want. For writing, I was thinking it'd be good to do another narrative because of the books we're reading, but decided I'm gonna wait because I wanna wait till after so we can reference back to all of these and use these as mentor text to reflect back onto instead of trying to teach it as we're reading these. So we're gonna do some opinion writing. I have some would you rather prompts on TPT for free. I'll show you what we're gonna do. Okay, these are free on my TPT. So they're would you rather writing for opinion writing. We do these a lot in morning meeting anyways, and we always talk about why, like would you rather be able to breathe underwater or fly, why? So we share that in morning meeting. So what they'll do is the first day they will brainstorm, and we might combine days, but like brainstorm, they have to choose which one and think about why. The next day they make an outline of it, so reason and then example. So I would rather fly. My first reason is because it would save money. It would save money because I don't have to buy gas or plane tickets. And then the last day they write it into their paragraph. So I feel like we're gonna use these to do some opinion writing this week. And probably next week, and then that following week we'll go back to narrative. I think we'll kind of loop back between narrative and opinion. That way we're kind of practicing both all year long instead of doing one for a specific chunk of time. Okay, back to my sloppy lesson plans. We just finished place value on Wednesday. I assessed them. So we'll move on to addition. I'll give them a pre-assessment and we'll start with adding 3 and 4 digit numbers. And yeah. For guided math, I'm gonna use that pre-assessment. Some kids I'll push on ahead. Some we might need to take it back a step. We'll just kind of look and see where they're at to determine what to work on for our guided math time. So all I need to do here is cut out, I made some, oops, not those ones. Cut out and hole punch these high frequency words. That's like the last one. So honestly, I'm probably just gonna start everyone on these, going through and just flashing them to their group. If they can read and spell them all, maybe I'll move them on, but they have struggled with spelling a lot, especially with like a lot of these high frequency words, like a lot of them. So I think it'll be a good review regardless, especially since it's only for like 10 or 15 minutes. But yeah, so I'll cut those, have the recording sheets to go with it or their data tracking sheet. So I'm getting there, I'm making good progress. Also, I told my student teacher, like, I'm just gonna, this over the weekend, go in and plan Monday and kind of have the week just because I don't know what this is going to look like. We've never taught in a hybrid model and I can't imagine trying to student teach during this. So I told her I'm just going to do it because she technically is almost full-time, but I'm like, just let me, just for my anxiety. I don't really have anxiety, but like it almost feels like I don't know, for my stress, I should say. There we go. It'll help me feel better. And then I told her, like, we will see how Monday goes and then we can sit down and make adjustments and then she can plan the next week. So I just needed to, yeah, and with it being off, we couldn't really do it together. So anyways, that's why I'm just here doing this all, but it'll make me feel better. Okay, so last thing I want to do is guided reading books. I think I'm just going to print off reading A to Z books because I don't want to go search down there. A lot of our guided reading books are outdated, I feel like. When we got the Fountains Pinnell Classroom stuff, we did not get the guided reading books with them. I'm hoping someday we will. So I think I'm just gonna try to find some to print off, and that way they can bring them home for their off day too. Much better. Just knowing everything's ready, good to go. Obviously, I'll have to probably make adjustments as the week goes on and we see how this hybrid thing goes. But I have a plan, and if we need to adjust from there, that is totally fine. So, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna teach Monday, and then my student teacher will take over Tuesday. She still isn't full-time yet, but she'll take over the things that she'll teach. But just so I can see how they go, I just wanna do it first. That way it's not, if it's a train wreck, then on me. So here's what I got. Like I said, I was gonna get the guided reading books just from reading A to Z. So we heard about the Hope Diamond in, was it in a mystery Doug or something? So a lot of my girls have been just kind of talking about that. So I saw that one, so I thought that'd be a good one for a group. I'm doing nonfiction this week. So manatees, we got birds of prey, and we got some ocean animals. So we'll do those for our guided reading groups. Spin around here. Like I said, I have these printed off for my word work groups. We won't start there, so we'll probably start with some of these sight words, go through, they'll build them. Got my letters there ready, so that stuff is good, ready to roll. I know I just changed these to where they were plugging in their Chromebooks, and now they obviously have their Chromebooks at home. So for now, it's gonna be hold my word study stuff. I feel like I need to just, oh, look at that. This one has Cheetos in it, so I'll need to actually clean these out and organize, but not today. Got my word work stuff there. My read alouds are ready up here, so we're good there. And then one of my coworkers said she will have a math sheet printed out for us. So honestly, I feel good. I feel much better. Schedule's done, activities are done, printed, ready to go. I'm glad I came, because now I can relax the rest of the day. And Saturday and Sunday, I'm gonna just hang out with Reggie. I will have to create the activities for them on Seesaw. That won't take long for the kids on Monday. Again, since we haven't actually taught them anything to do, it's just gonna be review, and so it won't be too bad. But I'll do that probably just on Sunday quick, so we're good. If you are hybrid and have been doing it all year, I don't know how you've been doing it. If you have to have kids on live, I don't know how you've been doing it. I mean, if you've been distance learning, I don't know how you've been doing it. Really, I just don't know how any of us teachers have been doing this. So props to all of us. All right, I'm going home. Thanks for joining in. If you have any tips for anything you saw me do and you're like, ooh, I tried that, don't do this, or something that worked well for you, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, see ya when I see ya.